Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. In 1913, the Savannah Tribune wrote, "Oil well produces neat income. Negro girl earns $112,000 a year." Hey, social media, it's Stephen Middleton coming to you from the Possibility Action Network. Our mantra is, I am, I can, I will. I am Possibility Man. This February, I'm sharing on the topic, entrepreneurship, great moments in business. Today, the spotlight is on Sarah Rector. But first, an announcement. I share information with professionals and business-minded individuals about a category creator, breakthrough technology that turns on your body's ability to heal itself, improve athletic performance, and reverse aging at the cellular level. Many doctors and health professionals consider it to be more important than the discovery of DNA. To learn more about this technology, call my information line at 803-339-1101 or send me a Facebook friend request and a personal message. It is reasonable to say that Sarah Rector, born in 1902, was an accidental millionaire turned entrepreneur. Her parents, Joseph and Rose Rector, as well as her grandparents, lived in the Muscogee Creek Nation. Enslaved by the Creeks, they were considered Creek people, as were their descendants. Once the United States took over the Creek territory, which they considered to be Oklahoma territory, the treaty turned over land to all Creek people and their descendants, which included the Rectors and their daughter Sarah. The Creek Nation turned over Muscogee land to formerly enslaved people, including the Rectors. However, in general practice, these were often worthless land. None of the Muscogee people expected the land they gave the Rectors to turn out good for anything. Surely, Creek farmers considered this tract of land unsuitable for farming, recreation, or anything else. Sarah's parents tried to work the land, but they discovered they couldn't grow anything of value on it. All the while, the Rectors had to pay taxes for the land. They tried to sell it, but the government said they could not sell away land from their descendants. Mr. Rector was desperate to make enough money to pay property taxes, but fortunately for Sarah, federal law barred it. Fortuitously, Standard Oil Company came calling, asking the Rectors if they could prospect for oil on the land. Standard Oil paid a leasing fee, giving the Rectors just enough money to pay taxes and purchase vital supplies. Of course, Mr. Rector jumped at the opportunity. He could now pay taxes and buy food for the family. Nothing came from the drilling for many years. The Rector considered themselves fortunate that Standard Oil didn't quit on the project. Then, in 1913, Standard Oil struck a vein and oil began gushing out of the ground. Sarah's parents were now deceased, and Sarah began earning $300 a day from the oil gusher, the equivalent of almost $8,000 a day in today's money. To see her earnings in another way, just imagine earning $8,000 daily over a 30-day period. That sum would equal $240,000 a month today and would equal almost $3 million a year. The money changed Sarah's life, but Sarah was only 12 years old. News of her fortune quickly traveled worldwide as newspapers carried her story. The Chicago Defender described her as the wealthiest colored girl in the world. People began sending telegrams to Sarah, asking for loans, and men as far away as Germany sent marriage proposals. In 1913, the Oklahoma legislature considered a bill to make her honorary white, so she could benefit from the privileges and immunities a person of her standing should enjoy in the state. After all, young Sarah was possibly one of the richest residents of Oklahoma. As white, she could legally marry a white man and, of course, would probably lose control over her wealth. Fortunately for Sarah, Booker T. Washington, educator and founder of Tuskegee Institute, now known as Tuskegee University, stepped in to help the young girl. Tuskegee had a boarding school for teenagers, and Sarah could live on the campus until she reached her 18th birthday. There at Tuskegee, she learned to read and write and learned how to manage her affairs. Once able to make decisions for herself, Sarah moved to Kansas City, Missouri, and started a new life. She sought out advisors and began to invest in real estate, land that included a 2,000-acre river, and she purchased a mansion as her permanent residence. She invested heavily in the stock market, and she also purchased bonds. She bought a boarding house, a bakery, and a cafe called the Busy Bee. Sarah Rector had also become a celebrity in town, and she lived a luxurious lifestyle. She wore bling, as young people would say today, and she bought expensive clothes. Miss Rector made it known that she would not hide her wealth. She also wanted to broaden the horizons of young people, so she bought a limousine and hired a chauffeur to drive neighborhood children to their elementary school. And she allowed them to play at the Rector mansion. I can only imagine that she hosted birthday parties for the children, giving them an experience she never enjoyed as a child. As Rector's wealth increased, so did the quality of her male suitors. Of course, she continued to attract gold diggers, but at 20 years of age, she married Kenneth Campbell, who owned a car dealership in Kansas City, Missouri. Sarah had become an entrepreneur. The couple had 3 sons and were recognized as local royalty. Of course, she entertained celebrities, including musicians like Duke Ellington, Count Basie, as well as sports figures like heavyweight boxing champs Jack Johnson and Joe Louis. These were the elite figures of the day, and the Campbells enjoyed every minute of it. The Great Depression challenged their marriage and their investments. The couple had 3 sons before divorcing in 1935. Sarah would later remarry, but the economic crash wiped out most of her investments. It is likely that she retreated from high society after the economic downturn in the 1930s. She held on to a few oil wells and the mansion until her death in 1967. I'm Stephen Middleton. I'm with the Possibility Action Network. We care about individuals achieving optimal physical health. We care about individuals achieving emotional well-being. And we care about individuals achieving financial fitness. We have the tools to support you in these areas if these are of interest to you. I invite you to connect with us on Facebook and send me a personal message in your messenger app. Until next time, I'm Stephen Middleton, Possibility Man, signing off. Good day.